Alright, time to show off my pickups for March and April. As usual, I'm combining 2 months worth of pickups into one because I felt like I didn't get quite enough in March to justify one video. But let's start things off. First thing I got in March was this Marvel 80th Anniversary Captain America. I knew that the 20th Anniversary Marvel Legends one was on the way, which had like the straps and the interchangeable unmasked head and shit like that, but I wanted this one because I didn't want a shield that had like the little holes for the effects. No. And I like the navy on this one. It has like the grimmer, gritty look from the MCU films, but still has touches like the scale armor from the comics. I felt this was a good mix, and I just needed a better Captain America anyway. What I mean is, like, the longest time I had this MCU Captain America. I think it was like from Civil War, but he's shorter than your typical like Marvel Legends Captain America. And I noticed he was shorter than characters like Gambit and Punisher. I mean, no, you need Captain America to have a tall, commanding presence to tell those two that, like, no. This is not who we are. This is how we're gonna do it. They try to do something, just pull some shady shit. The only thing was that this was the shield that came with the 80th Anniversary Captain America. Too damn dinky, so I gave this cap the MCU one, and the colors don't match precisely, but it just looks much better. It's got this big-ass shield. That's what you need. Again, a big shield gonna look at someone, a tall, commanding presence. That's Captain America. I'm not all that familiar with the character comics-wise, but I know that much about him. Okay, and another thing I picked up was been wanting to get into customs, but I'm still not ready. I'm not that confident in my skills, so when I saw this available, I had to get it. Alright, this is Arclight from the Marauders, one of the real nasty X-Men villains, as strong as Rogue, can generate shockwaves that'll go through the ground. She strikes with her fists or her feet, and she's a Vietnam War vet, shell-shocked, and it just heightened her sadism even more. I mean, she's a real nasty X-Men villain, Philippa Sontag, Arclight. And the thing is, Hasbro easily could have done her. We've seen this head for like Wasp and Domino. They could just reuse any basic female body mold, and this shoulder pad, I think it's from Guardian of the Galaxy's Angela. But they never did, so when this custom came along, I grabbed her up. Not the best one. I'm afraid to move around. You can see parts where like the paint's gonna scrape off, so she's kind of stuck in this pose. It's not the most well-made custom, but I just wanted Arclight on the shelf for a long time. Maybe if I get good at customs, I'll try making my own, but for now, I've got her. And how fitting that I got her along with Captain America in March, because he's a living legend of World War II, and his experience in that war shaped him into the hero he is, while Arclight's experiences in the Vietnam War just heightened her sadism and just made her go off the deep end. I mean, kind of perfect foils for each other, and I believe they've actually met in the comics. I forget exactly which ones. I'll post a note. So yeah, anyway, it's hard to stand her up, and I don't want to risk too much trying to pose her around. And damn it, really? Okay, that's fine. Because now we're gonna move on to this big old chungus. I stopped that toy store selling vintage stores I've talked about, where I traded in and got some good stuff like Soundwave and Starscream. Well, I just pop in there one day at random, and they have this big old chongus. Abomination. I already had Leader on my shelf for a Hulk villain, but I also need... But he's the one whose intellect matches Hulk's strength, and, well, Banner's intellect when his brains can shine through is the Hulk. But you need someone who can match pound for pound. Well, I already got the Marvel Select Juggernaut, but damn, we also needed Abominations, complete with the fish fins that they left out of Hulk's movie, but they put back in Shang-Chi or whatever. Yeah, he's a bit more posable than Juggernaut, I suppose. But you you really don't need them, because just like Juggernaut and Hulk, just this big plastic brick, this big absolute fucking unit that you don't dare stand against. This gamma irradiated fucking monstrosity. So yeah, it looks good. So now I got 2 Hulk villains on the shelf, and they look pretty good. Also in March, I picked this up. Yeah, it sucks that the Wii U's virtual store is gonna shut down. When I was looking around to see, okay, what am I gonna miss out on? What do I gotta grab? Really, Kirby games I missed out on the DS. And but still, even though I got a digital copy of that for like, what, $10? And that's why I had to get a physical copy too, because I'm stupid that way. And the last Kirby game I played was Amazing Mirror for the GBA. I believe this is the mainline Kirby game that followed that one. So, and look, what are your nemesis, your enemies in this game? Cute rats. They're all little adorable rodents. So yeah, I had to get a physical copy of this for myself. And that was pretty much it for March, but hang on, I did pick up some movies in March. Yeah, we got went ahead and picked up the physical copy of the recent G.I. Joe movie and Gem along with it, even though this was very underwhelming, and I know damn well from fans that this was beyond terrible. I mean, there's a reason that the comic reboot is more highly regarded than the movie reboot. But sometimes you need to take the diarrhea dumps in your ear along with the masterpieces. Remind you how bad it can get so you can appreciate when you get it good. And the flea market, I found Addams Family 2. I really, really liked this one, almost as much as the old 90s ones. It didn't really try to be too poetic or like too in-depth. It was just a good, funny time. Unfortunately, I pulled a dick move, and I didn't notice too late that the digital code is only good for Apple TV. God damn it! Didn't notice that till it was too late. So yeah, that wasn't quite enough for the month of March, I felt, to justify a video, but recently I took a vacay family to Philadelphia and also spent some time in Atlantic City over in Jersey. Well, there's a place in Philadelphia on the outskirts of downtown called Blue Line Collectibles. I mean, I go in there and there was this one wall, had nothing but Super 7 practically. There's so many to pick from, but there wasn't really anything there I wanted, though in coming months I will be dipping my toes into Super 7. Look out for that. But I did find something I've been wanting to pick up. Probably the cheapest SH figure arts there is. Friggin' Pac-Man. For the video game shelf, it's like, it makes sense now that I have an opportunity to add Pac-Man to the shelf. He's decent posability. I mean, 360 arm rotation, elbows, like wrist articulation, and look at that. It's like for moving the legs around. This is cool, especially since he's in Smash anyway. So being the old fogey that I am, I had to put Pac-Man on the shelf somehow, and yeah, I had to come home with something from a indie store while I was traveling. And then another, I forget the name of where I got this. I think it was called Game Kingdom or something. Something I've been needing to add to my collection. The original frickin' Soul Calibur. Got the instructions and the disc. The disc is in decent shape. Yeah, I've had my Dreamcast for a long, long time, and I've had Marvel vs. Capcom, Dead or Alive 2, played the shit out of those, but somehow I never got into this one. Although I did rent the sequel for GameCube just for Link. But I'm willing to give this one a shot. I mean, it's, to this day, it's still considered a masterpiece. Time to find out why, right? Well, that's it for now. See you guys next month. Hopefully I can snag enough in the month of March to justify a single video. Okay, one quick thing I wanted to add, something I had completely forgotten about, and it's easy to overlook because these aren't exactly high-end, like, sought-after collectibles. I got some Disney stuff on the shelf, but I realized I had nothing from the movies. So, first of all, this is in the old McDonald's toy back in the early 1990s. We got Pongo. Pongo. I recently rewatched the original 101 Dalmatians and forgot how fun of a character this little guy is, so needed to get some representation for him on the shelf, and I finally found an aerial that scales decently with the usual 5 and 6 inch scale stuff, and just won't take up much space because it just has this belly sliding along the ground like in her NES game, remember that? So yeah, so I got good representation from 2 beloved Disney classics up on the shelf now. So yeah, so looks like I did have a pretty good March and April after all, things considered. Hopefully May and possibly June will be better.